there, welcome to the UkeStuff channel and welcome to this full UkeGuide review of this instrument. This is the Enya EUC-200A. It is available in the United States only via Peripole Incorporated, which is a music education specialty store in Oregon, and you can find them at peripole.com. They start at $95, but there are discounts for registering for the website and for educators. They are also sold in packs. And I do some work with Peripole. I present for them, and I just need to let you know that. So let's call this a sponsored video. I was sent this instrument for free. I do get paid when I present, but I'm not being paid to record this video specifically. But this instrument was sent to me, so just so that you're aware of that as you watch it. So if you want to know what's going on with me and whether I'm being impartial, that way you can know the truth of where I'm at with this. So yes, I do like Peripole. I do like Enya. Enya has sent me other ukuleles to review. This one was not from Enya, this one was from Peripole. Now I also have reviewed this instrument's big brother, the EUT-200A, on this channel. You can find it elsewhere on the UkeStuff channel here. But I'm not mainly a tenor player. I'm mainly a concert player. So Peripole was kind enough to send me the concert version of this as well. So what we're going to do in this video is, first of all, we're going to look at subjective categories. Then we're going to look at the specifications. Then I will summarize the instrument and give it a rating out of 5 possible ukuleles. If you want to support the work here, there are 3 things you can do. You can like the video. Second, you can subscribe to the channel. And third, you can always buy me a coffee to say thanks for making this content at buymeacoffee.com/ukestuff. All right, let's begin with the subjective categories. First of all, cost. Again, $95, $95.45, doing the calculations to my house, for example, shipped without any discount. And of course, the price goes down if you're registered to their website, and then if you're an educator further. And again, they also sell classroom sets at even a higher discount. But most average ukulele players won't need 30 of these laying around their house. So just as a thought there. So the cost is very affordable. Are there cheaper ukuleles? Yes. Are you going to get a cheaper ukulele for more for your money? Probably not, and we'll get to that with value in just a second. So yeah, talking about value, there are definitely cheaper ukuleles out there and some really nice, less expensive ukuleles. However, not only do you get a really well-made ukulele, but you also get one of the best kits in the business. There are some companies that include gig bags. There are some companies that include a bunch of things. But this one, Enya, has always included good stuff with their ukuleles. So you get a really nice bag. It has a single strap on it. It has the hook that I love. It doesn't have the bumper on the bottom, but that's okay. It has a decent sized pocket in the front, and a sort of a fabric. Sounds funny to say, but it's a more sort of softer fabric on the inside than the outside, that nylon versus what's softened on the inside. And then in this pocket, I have a ton of accessories that come with it. So you get your ukulele strap that actually goes onto the strap buttons. So there's strap buttons on the ukulele, so that's a nice thing. Easily a $10 to $20 value there. Plastic picks, not a fan of this because they do destroy ukuleles. Yes, I know some players use them, but I've also seen the damage caused by plastic picks. Comes with an Enya tuner, great. It's going to work just fine. Comes with an Enya cleaning cloth, great. Comes with a finger shaker, probably the least needed accessory of all these, but it comes with it. Let's see, comes with a set of Enya strings, and I can't remember if they are the Enya fluorocarbons or if they're the Enya sort of version of the Nile guts. So the ukulele comes with fluorocarbon strings on it. You can see the clear strings there. But if you're not a fan of the fluorocarbon strings, then you also get a set of sort of Aquila-ish, sort of Nile gut-ish strings. And then you also get an ukulele capo. And that's a pretty amazing kit, and almost all of it is functional and usable. I would personally like a second set of the fluorocarbon strings because I'm a fluorocarbon player. That's what I prefer. And I do like the Enya strings. Some people find them to be too floppy or whatever. I like them a lot. So ultimately, really my only two gripes, and they're not really even gripes. The finger shaker for me is not needed. Not a fan of the plastic picks. I wish it was a felt or leather or both picks. And then, of course, just that final category of strings, I would love to see another set of fluorocarbon strings. That all said, it's still one of the best kits out there that you're ever going to find with an ukulele. It comes at that price point. And as a result, it's the value does exceed the price, and it's really, really worth it as an instrument. Now, in terms of build quality, it is an excellent build quality. I suppose the edge could be smoother, but it's not supposed to be a rounded edge instrument. It's not sharp by any means, but it could be smoother. But the laminate is high quality laminate, as you'll see on the inside in just a moment. And otherwise, it's really well put together. There's no flaws. Great heel on that. Of course, you get the strap buttons already. It's a pull-through bridge, which is not something to be afraid of. Again, what you do is you loosen your strings or cut them and push them through and fish them out. And then you put in the new string in the right spot, kind of just curl it around until it pops out. Tie the bead on, because there's usually beads on here, as you'll see in a minute. And then you just pull it back and attach it. It's not that big of a deal. It's actually easier than a tie bar bridge. So so you've got that. You've got a compensated saddle. You've got closed gear tuners. It's really, really well made, really well put together with high quality laminate. Now, one of the things we do is we take a look at the inside of the ukulele. So let's do that. I'll get my endoscope here, and we'll go take a look at the inside of the ukulele. All right, let's go inside the sound hole here of the Enya 200A, the EUC-200A. All right, looking down at the tail block, there's the tail block. There is some glue in there, and if you look up, you can see that there's a bridge plate. You can see the support that runs down the center of the ukulele, which supports that thin laminate. And if I get far enough back, you can even see the beads that tie onto the strings. Looking a little closer, you can see it's notch kerfing. You can see the very high quality laminate. A lot of times the laminate is so cheap and so, just not good. You can see that the actual laminate has a grain to it. Really, really good quality laminate. There's the back brace, the horizontal brace. You've got a tail block, which of course the strap pin is tied into, and it's just really clean. Sure, a couple spots of glue, but overall, really, really nice and clean. Now let's take a look at the upper bout. All right, let's take a look at the upper bout here. Okay, there is one of the braces, a little bit of extra glue there, no big deal. Notch kerfing. There's your neck block right there. Looking at more of the laminate, more of the notch kerfing. Really, just really well put together in a traditional sense, and it makes sense. Enya has gotten a reputation for building a very good, inexpensive ukulele, as well as some not inexpensive ukuleles. But this is definitely on their lower end with an all laminate ukulele. All right, and that is our quick look at the Enya EUC-200A. All right, so build quality, very good. How about appearance? Well, it may not be for everybody. It has sort of a more modern look with that lighter stain. It doesn't have the darker stain of the headstock, although I do like that contrast. And I believe you're looking at a rich light bridge and a rich light fretboard, which should be a little more impervious to sharp fret ends too, by the way, as sort of a synthetic material as well. The multicolored rosette is nice. May not be everybody's cup of tea, but I don't mind it at all. Looks nice. And it's also pretty plain. So it has a combination of some modern features, that darker headstock, the Enya logo up on the top, which is an inlay that looks really nice. And then sort of, it's also kind of plain too. So it covers both a modern look with a sort of plain styling. Now, in terms of availability, you can order one from Peripole directly. Peripole.com will get you there. Sometimes they do run out of these and do have to wait for a restock, so do be aware of that. But other than that, they are still available. Now, in terms of playability, there's a lot to like here and a couple things that could improve. It has low action with no buzzing, so that's really nice. And there is apparent, to me at least, appears to be a slight radius to the fretboard. Very slight radius, but there's a slight radius to the fretboard, which is also generally unheard of at this price point. Now, the potential negatives. It's a standard 35 millimeter nut with a sort of standard C-shaped thick neck. The nut could be wider, the neck could be thinner, but again, that profile is very common throughout the industry, particularly of ukuleles that are made in China and then shipped elsewhere in the world. So yeah, could there be a thinner neck? Sure. There is a little bit of a profile that's a little different, especially up at the top, which is nice. But yeah, the neck could be thinner, the nut could be wider. If you have really large hands, you may not be happy, but still, it's okay. Now, the other thing I noticed is when I was measuring is that the nut, the strings aren't necessarily spaced exactly perfectly apart when I was measuring how far apart the strings were. Now, in practice, it doesn't bother me at all, but it doesn't seem like that part is cut by a computer with perfection. So that part may actually still be being hand cut out by a craftsman in the Enya factory. Just something to be aware of there. So overall, with the low action, playing is really easy. I'm not going to dock it too bad for the 35 millimeter nut or the thick C-shaped neck, because it's not terrible. It's not terrible, and the action makes it super, super playable. So it is a build that makes the playing easier because of the setup more than anything else. So could it be improved? Sure, a little bit, but is it bad? Not by any means. Now, how about sound quality? Overall, I think it's excellent. If I just play the C chord, and we're going to do some more things with recording in a second. The ringing just stopped. I mean, that is an exceptional amount of time for a laminate ukulele to just ring and ring and ring and ring. And you get the qualities of a laminate, so you sort of get that lower sound, but it also has a lot of sparkle and shine. I think that's also helped with the fluorocarbon strings, the combination there. But nonetheless, it is a great sounding laminate ukulele. Now, is this going to be better than a solid wood ko-aloha? The answer is no. But it is also not a basically a $1,300 ukulele, right? It's not a solid wood $1,300 ukulele, so you don't expect that. But could you play this for your whole life and be content with the sound? The answer is actually yes. If you were a student learning on this ukulele, could you be happy with the sound? The answer is absolutely yes. So it has a excellent sound, particularly for a laminate ukulele, but just an ukulele in general. It's a nice balanced sound. It has the brightness that I like. It still has some warmth to it. It's not overly loud, but it's certainly not quiet. It's just a good volume overall. Now, one of the things I do on these reviews is I let you see what I'm hearing with the app Tonal Energy Tuner. I'm opening that up on my iPad right now as we are recording this. And what we're going to do is we're going to see what happens with the harmonic energy as I play the C chord on this GCEA instrument. Here we go. The sound is still going, even though it stopped registering. I'll do it again a couple times. Yeah, ultimately that sound goes even longer than the iPad is picking up. But if you notice, when I play the chord, this spectrum lights up. And if you watch any of these other reviews, normally it's just this little chunk on many laminate ukuleles. No, it's the whole spectrum that's lighting up. This is a complex sound for a laminate ukulele that's really nice, and I think you'll like it, especially if you like a brighter ukulele. Now, if you like a darker sounding ukulele, you might want to try the Nile gut strings that come with it and see if that takes away some of the sparkle and shimmer if you don't like that. But I personally love that on an ukulele. All right, now that we've talked about subjective categories, let's get into the specifications. It is a concert ukulele with a scale length of 14.875 inches. Why isn't it 15? I don't know, but it works. The number of frets is 20, with 14 to the body. There are side position markers there. I suppose they could be white and stick out a little more. I wouldn't mind that. Or silver and stick out a little more. They're a little bit on the tan side, but it's okay, especially if I'm wearing my glasses. If I'm not wearing my glasses, it's going to be a little harder to see them. And the body style is a traditional double bout. The soundboard is laminate mahogany, as are the back and sides. The fretboard and bridge are Richlite. The style of the bridge is a pull-through bridge, and there is a slight radius, I believe, to the fretboard. The nut and saddle are new bone, and the saddle is compensated. The finish is a satin finish. Looks really pretty nice. Has some nice shimmer to it. I especially like when you look at the striping on the back and the light and what it does there. And again, it's a high quality laminate mahogany. The overall length is 24 inches exactly, and it weighs 1 pound 2 ounces. I've played lighter instruments. Not quite sure where the weight is coming from. Maybe it's the neck, because the body is certainly made out of very resonant, light laminate. The tuner types are Enya closed gears tuners, so you've got the little Enya logo on there, which is really nice. The action at the first fret is only 0.25 millimeters, and then the action at the 12th fret is only 2.0 millimeters. That's really low action, but there's no buzz, and that is incredible. So if you've been looking for a low action ukulele, this one came right out of the box like that. Enya does a great job with their setups. Somehow, Enya manages to ship ukuleles with great setup. I've never seen somebody complain about Enya's stock setup. I know someone that polishes the frets when they get their ukulele and things like that, but in terms of setup, I've never heard a complaint. And I don't know how they do it, because a lot of the other manufacturers struggle to send consistently set up ukuleles. Enya knocks it out of the park every time I've seen it. The nut width is 34.98 millimeters, so basically 35 millimeter. Yes, that could be a wider nut. And the space between strings at the first fret is sort of 8.87 millimeters. That is not consistent across all 4 strings or the gaps between those strings, but it doesn't bother me. It's not noticeable when I'm playing that one is further away than the others, but when you're actually measuring it, with digital caliper, it's not consistent. And the actual full width of the string set is only 27.72 millimeters G to A, meaning you have a lot of room on the 2 sides. It doesn't feel cramped, it doesn't feel bad, but if you have large hands, you may not be happy with this model. At the same time, it'd be a great instrument for students, especially younger students, because you have the combination of the nice big body, so maybe older students like 8th graders, 9th graders could use it quite happily, but with sort of that more narrow string spacing under just 28 G to A at the first fret, it's possible that your younger players might like that better too. But we're talking just millimeters of differences. It's not going to make that much of a difference. Nonetheless, just mentioning it as we go. And finally, the depth of the neck at the 3rd fret. So you got to go from the top of the strings to the bottom of the neck at the 3rd fret. It's just the place to measure it. Is 21.75 millimeters, which is on the thick side. So just do be aware of that the neck is a C-shaped neck. It does flatten out a little bit right at where the nut is, where you'd be doing a lot of your playing in that first position, but still the neck could be thinner, the nut could be wider. The string spacing could be a little bit wider, I think, without as much room on the sides of the fretboard. But that's being really nitpicky. No sharp fret ends, but I wouldn't expect that necessarily with the Richlite. All right, now that we've looked at the specifications, let's summarize the instrument. This instrument is sold solely in the United States by Peripole Incorporated, which is a music education specialist in Oregon. And I do, again, declare that I do some business with Peripole. I present some sessions on ukulele and recorder with them. So do be aware of that. And I was sent this instrument by Peripole without having to buy it. I'm not being paid to make this recording, but this instrument was sent to me for free, and I do other work with Peripole. Now, with that said, this instrument is really well built. Comes with a great kit. It's made out of great materials. The sound is excellent with a strong mid-range and nice sparkle, nice sustain. It's just, yes, I would absolutely recommend it. The only thing that I will say is that you do want to make sure that you register on Peripole's website if you buy this to get the discount. That's all I'm going to say. Other than that, yeah, can you find other Enyas in the same general price range? Sure. Enya does, again, not sell this model anywhere else. They do sell a mahogany solid top, but then you also have the challenge of caring for a solid top ukulele, which this one will not have. This is much easier to care for as a full laminate rather than a solid top mahogany version. Do keep that in mind. There are some benefits to the ease of care of a laminate ukulele. So with that said, what rating would I give this instrument? I think you know where this is going. Could it be better? Yeah, they could make the nut a little wider. They could make the neck a little thinner. But even that said, this is a home run. This is a home run. At $95 or less, this is a 5 out of 5. Just like its big brother. Not because I do work with Peripole, not because I like the company, but because it is a great little instrument. And this one's not going anywhere. This one's going to be staying in my collection as a player because it's that good. So there you have it. The Enya EUC-200A. Highly recommended. Almost perfect. And the problems that it has really are standard in the industry. So again, a wider nut, thinner neck, and then a couple of the things that they could change in the kit, which are so minor. Leather pick and a felt pick rather than plastic picks. Different strings. I would want 2 sets of the fluorocarbons. And then the final aspect was the shaker. Don't really need the shaker. But other than that, what an amazing kit. What an amazing instrument. Really great way to start off. And if you're looking for an instrument for someone for Christmas or for the holidays, I don't know if you can find a better one. Now, maybe there's something that's prettier out there that you like, or a certain look that you're trying to get. But it would be hard to beat this one in terms of the sound and the overall playing experience with that really low action. All right, thanks so much for joining me for this review. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more Uke stuff for you.